to another trial and error DIY hosted by yours truly. Today we're actually going to be delving into the world of desserts with Matcha Red Bean Mochi, hosted by Japanese Cooking 101. And they're an incredible YouTube channel that actually hosts incredibly delicious desserts and also Japanese cuisines as well too. So to start off, here's what we'll be needing. You can find a lot of these recipes in Asian grocery stores or in the local market. What we decided to do is actually modify the recipe to have a 1-to-1 ratio of mochi powder and sugar just to cut the sweetness. And every mochi is as good as its filling. And for this one today, we're actually going to be using both a chestnut paste, because I actually didn't have enough of the red bean paste that I originally had. Both are really good and have a very sweet and savory flavor to them that make any pastry or any bun as good as you want. And lastly, we'll also be adding some potato starch. Think of her as the older sister of the group. She actually helps to make sure that nothing is going to be a sticky mess and has a really nice dusty topping. So what we want to start off with is actually putting all of our dry ingredients into a mixing bowl or a pot. I was a little bit lazy and decided to put it into a pot just so it's easier. And then once you start to mix them, you can start incorporating water so it becomes a little bit more of a paste. Don't worry if it gets too watery, it'll eventually evaporate when we start to reduce her onto the pot or in stove. So from there, we actually want to put her on the stove. And for me, I'm actually a very impatient person, so I decided to put her all the way up to the high. And from there, we're going to stir her. While she's on the stove top, you always want to consistently stir her just to make sure that she doesn't get burnt on the bottom. Eventually, she'll actually become a lot of a thicker paste, such as this. And from there, that's when you actually start to realize that it's pretty hard work trying to mix a mochi. And you realize also too, like, wow, you don't actually have a lot of stamina that you thought you did originally. And that's probably because you didn't really exercise during the quarantine. But that's okay too, because if you're lucky enough, you might have a family member or a friend that can actually help you and tag you in. And this is probably around the time where you're probably going to want to take a break and tag them in, just as I did here, and get their assistance while you support them from the sideline. And for my case, I'm going to thank my boyfriend right here. Thank you for always doing the heavy work. From there, we're just going to constantly fold the mochi over and over. This is actually to help aerate the mochi and also make sure that we're actually consistently beating it on all portion sizes. From there, she'll become a lot more thicker, and once you're comfortable or confident enough with the thickness level that you've achieved, that's when you can actually start to place her in the pan or a cooling pot. But before you do so, make sure you actually put the bowl and dust it around with some potato starch. And basically what this powder does is make sure it doesn't stick to the bowl, and also make sure that it actually has a dry coating so that it doesn't stick to anything else or stick to each other. From there, we're actually going to put her into the bowl, and she does take a while, but really bask in the gloriousness that is a really nice waterfall of mochi that you're slowly going to inhale once she's done. Ah, yes. And once you're ready, you can actually rest her in the fridge to chill for at least half an hour. Once you're ready though, that's when you actually get your bowl of matcha and also a bowl of potato starch, so you can actually place the matcha spoonful into that bowl, and that's where you're going to be preparing your matcha ball. To prepare the filling, all you have to do is put the red bean or the chestnut filling, or perhaps whatever you want to use for the filling, in the center of the circle glob. And from there, you're going to fold the matcha over the red bean and close it over, and continue to roll it around the potato starch until it becomes a fully formed ball, as shown in the video. You should get something like this. And hopefully when you guys try it out, perhaps you'll actually get something that looks a lot nicer and hopefully tastes a lot better than mine. I realize I use a little bit too much potato starch, but you'll actually get a lot more suggestions and more information about this entire experience in our blog, so please feel free to actually look and click on the link above.